with back and forth any idea. Na we were hopeful saying Trica dear the case ebe exceptional. Now so me no ka say dear unfortunately Trica niti enya ye ama as you can see on the screens airport Accra International Airport enanopeya Trica yede no esiple mu a yede ne kwakopie mu ewo US. Now when you be my Chris wa ha we follow nsem no since morning said the niema hia ase a Trica unfortunately yede no ko US no obebo yemu Chris yemu akwa Bamba Studio sa
yeah me also
yetete se ya Trica sebe nka ye hwese ye be save no ni ade enyanye ye ama yede na kopie mu US boy mu sem no.
Yes, Anopeya Delta Airlines flight DL157. Thursday Anopeya na 9:30. The flight was scheduled for 9:30, but at 9:35, and omo etu edi free Accra International Airport omo edino eko US. Now, as we are speaking now, no, yenya enka se wadi bone na so wadi bone no. Investigations omo ye chemu se edi esefata se edene ko. Nti we egbese magistrate court na din kan bu asem no mo de ko Accra High Court. Accra High Court omo na man bail e man ko fie kakra na omo sade ne ba ye se omo hwesenka omo betene egbese magistrate court omo rule na omo de ba se ye extradite no. But then Accra High Court na asa so de ba se omo extradite no eno na ma omo esa chi ni bi wa anopeya all plans senka the councils no betimi a reach Trica no na omo entimi get access to Trica, but then omo hu ne say omo fast track case no ama anopay omo e de abrante no discipline mom de konti omo wa kodru be somewhere around 4:30 there nti be by 8:30 enumere Ghana time and Trica wa kodru US na omo hwese obedi na asem.
Okay, enti na chese confirmed Trica said the etete no no say ya extradite no akopie mu ewo the United States. Enti we show screens so I will say Trica extradited to the US. Enti say ni de abeda ko say Trica akopie mu ewo US. Now ensem bebre na aba ameno ka say ne lawyer lawyer Oliver Baka Vomowo wadi nso abebie nsem bi so na chese as a high court no se kululu bi no mu ye o se Trica se bi na wo mo fa so e de Trica koye because pensem a lawyer Oliver Baka Vomowo di aba beto dwa na chese chiremu se wo mo kro mo ye na legal counsel no na omu nim ba bi Trica wa to anapay yede no ko US. So on your screens or say I have just found out from sources at the police hospital that Trica has been rushed to the hospital. It has been over a week. We haven't been allowed access to Trica as lawyers, and our request for him to meet him as his lawyers has not been granted into a chamber. And some of Martino and say Trica and rather and Saji for Oliver Baka from our and same way betu January say Omo Trica kopimu police hospital na ne chima says and who ne no said dienyo is answer now watching near Omukopiemu High Court ye na semwa betu just said the application for the halting of his extradition no court no dismiss no omuche no be na watching omo any entrance so omo ye de ometimi bia say omo ebetimi ehunu. Now or say in fact we have no idea where is he being held, and Interpol, which first had custody to him, say they don't have him. And Tinache say Interpol now omo ekofa no. I mean there is nothing omo so just say omo eni ni ho. Inti Trica any Interpol ni ho dia. Then at this point omo ekwa kuhu Trica ewe. So we'll be filing a habeas corpus application by tomorrow if the Republic continues to deny him something as basic as his right to counsel. Let's keep treating our citizens as animals to please the FBI. We are doing well. Today it's a fraud boy. Tomorrow it will be a politician. Shalom. Inti nache se womo ye de ombetimi bia se omubehu baby Trica ewo na said the Ghana for binu manase mpanimfo na ema ne ye se Trica nye obia no eto omude ne share FBI for nsa no monko so saa ene ye fraud boy ochina ebeye amanyoni enti nsem we na eye Oliver Bakavomo wode betu dwa na ochim so munye hu eye Trica until anopei ebeto dwa se wo mu extradite now say 2 days ago you were shouting Thomas Partey is innocent until proven guilty and insulting Canada for denying him a visa to their own country. Today you are shouting why cries a lawyer defending Trica in his own country. 6 rape charges there, you understand, innocent before proven guilty. But it did not just just like Thomas Partey said the name of focus young and convicting say asem na ye de to no so no say rape charges no odi bem anase odi for asem ne ho ne de he's a suspect now then Trica de ne nko ade as some exceptional cases any other there and we shen nsem a osaje for Oliver de betu job na oye hopeful said they would apply they would do some applications and pay ya unfortunately when you cry ehu wo client ya Extradite na akopie mu US mine we are hopeful say the new man kan by 4 p.m. na Trica akopie mu US now ye che Trica ya na ye Extradite Trica there's rumor going on say there is somebody that needs to be blamed for this particular incident so kindly brief us on it.
Yes, Obi to say Captain Smart, it maybe on no interview. And the interview on any year, no, and be muhu ne say, as a papa no was also jagu nsem no ama nsem no aba be ye bebre. And the ono kra na ama ase, ne ho aba be ye himo ama sisi omo ede no eko US because unse Ghanaians felt that aban no e wo tumi bi se nko betimi atwitwa age abrante no. Do you understand? But uhwe mu nso so a Jumani nyina aban na try say some of these people no ombeko US because we some kind of diplomatic kind of communication and ekoso nti ono no amount for start blaming no sense some of the two job according to ono no so ono no e show no so na kire e man be there di pefe say the FBI they are not having any evidence against Trica eji ono pe ono no ono mpo na ma omu hu say evidence be anywhere against Trica nti ono interview no has no influence on Trica's case. On the other hand, na the councils no omo kase omu hu no omo hwehwe no omo pese omu hu no na omu enya access to me can say Trica no. The whole thing is we say omu din kan free base magistrate court and na yesi emfa ko US and na omu di appeal to Accra High Court and Accra High Court man omu bail we no and na osan so omu bail no omu ko fie no. You know, sir, from the magistrate court, no, Accra High Court, no more 15 days. Okay. Is that 15 days? No, crash soon a tremu. Within the time, your man, bail, no. Not still now they were within the 15 days, but 15 days next soon, yeah. Within that 15 days now, no more apply to Accra High Court. Senka, omo and cancel base magistrate court, omo ruling, no. Nenka, omo inform who ending. And I say, come on fast, sending in answer and come before. For the council not to get access to Trica and say they don't want the council near Trica and you know somebody asem no ebeko Supreme Court because that was their last resort so ebeko Supreme Court and they so many ways and the delay case no so many different diverse ways and delay case no e be a human rights e be and celebrate and fa kwan so the delay case at this very juncture no na omo pese omo beye bibia any other thing to delay the case already 15 days na so atwam dada appeal omo de call High Court Accra High Court omo so atwam say magistrate court base magistrate court omo ruling no eda na kwan mu enti there is nothing to wait enti they just don't want them to get into contact to agree say you Supreme Court because that one would have also delayed the case even more enti na at a point who say omo de betu dia so they are not getting access to their clients enti Ghana for the are disappointed actually because they felt say and kayanye de ngomon pe kwan bi so na nka mo protect no but unfortunately said the court and some si call you know ana anope Trica omo e de no eko United States of America.
Okay, so said the enya be mane kano Captain Smart na amount fortunate no omo nsa won so say ye Trica baye no koye interview wo captain ni show no eso ne ade ne na say a trigger nsem na ma nsem no age nsem enti ye be ko na yakwa akotie captain smart so response a we dey ama Ghana for chiremu a Ghana for eche say case no ono na sebe wa ma asem no all of a sudden no o mo troubleshooting asem na ma ya Extradite Trica no enye ne mfomso yentie captain ne nsem a wo dey etu dwaye ba ye beto aso
Menya court 1. Number 2 menya lawyer. Number 3 menya medjuma to say journalist. Next question.
Okay. But on one will like on one about for interview and as on our friend.
Menya medjuma as a broadcaster. Next question.
Oh, Captain. You be see with one our friend.
Menya medjuma as a broadcaster.
But Captain, what's your interview no by affecting?
Affecting say.
In a way, say, and the count will be my.
Honestly, me can one someone no pay. I think you can look for the video.
But I said, my little bit on what you said.
And then it's something affecting. I'm not sure it's affecting.
But Ghana from the brain, I say,
any of my dream. One will say opinions are like noses. That's what Madam Hennes. So what you're thinking at any given time is not what I'm thinking. We may agree, but we may not have the same opinion at any given time. Next question. When I say Ghana for come, me Ghana name Makabi.
Comment section
no be tro na sama.
Video ni oh Captain Smart
Obi tin if you atro ni post na me comment. Obi tin if you akohwe obi ade na wa atro post na me be comment. Abba. I'm too big for that.
And you will now commenting.
There be nipa na wa be comment no. I don't know you be commenter no. Post ni me ni ho. Me ni nipa post here. Me who the nipa no tro here. And me who nipa no the tro here. You are conjecturing. Inti e ma me hu say asem we pepe na nipa ne kai. Inti say na sese me yi ano.
Captain Goma West question.
Goma West ko very fine.
Abusia, that is captain and yetin sema wodi to dwa wo chiremu a amanfo e kase wo no ne ni masem ni hu bi na ama ya chi Trica manasem no anka ebia bitibe ye kra ma yemfa ne nko US no because of sa interview no koyeye wo Captain Smart ne show no so nti na abrante no sa bre ye de ne kopie mu wo US captain chem say ono de wonim ne sa enye sanso na asem no etie but then there've been some circulations of the dockets and as proceedings name same way free court or a with regards to Trica issue we na ebinu tremu ana chese based on this case no mu ne say Trica Ghana ban eni na ndi ne ye before I be share nsem ni mu can see on the screens no Delta airline na de Trica koye no na details good screens so na nti 9:35 a.m. na umu free ha and hopefully by 4-5 p.m. no umu ebekwa akudwo ye US nti no ye share ensem ni mu dia na chese a lot of people know and now umu aye disappointed based on ensem a that screens no so no analyzing the situations at hand the course so how things unfolded onipa Trica kweshia no nisika semo no baby ekofefaye they feel like it was a setup and bongo ideas and a pay crowd what tweet ochemu say sansem ne de is not something that it was say yigina so ede charge Trica until we share steps ni mu on April 30th 2025 Yoko agent joined by personnel from the Cyber Security Authority US authorities carried out physical surveillance of a location in Accra, Ghana. There, UIC #2 went to pick up UIC #1. So it's just a whole back and forth of said the BBA course. So kwanya the Yoko no together with the cyber security no kabomu edink of 1 to 10 about 3 people, which we presume one of them should be Trica. We recommending we recommending we at the end of the day no edi enya ba bedru ha ewo Trica ensem ne ho no no na ebinu chese based on this document they feel like Trica ye ni no endini but say the enu be markers aka no ye de na USD but it doesn't mean say kwadu na ye de abono no odi for ewo ho and so they are just hopeful say based on how things are being done no either say ye didn't go through US na okopie mu with US court either they will find him guilty and I said not guilty of the charges yeah level against him. So we are still hoping and following issues on said the near man ebesifa koye say Trica ekudru US updates be ebeba no ye share ahwefo bo say ye de ebebrel now ye free Trica nsem isu na nkopie mu wo eye amanyosem emu right now no the NPPs are pressing the neck of the president of Ghana, which is President John Dramani Mahama. Now, somebody will ask, say, MPP for the almost share neck pressing, I say, of the president, and then koso. The minority leader in parliament, Sahine Afenyo Markins, and when the charges be about President John Dramani Mahama, just say, immediate anu ye of yet sa and same way because why the president should be jubilating at an inappropriate time. And so on your screens, or say people died in the floods. The next day, President Mahama was in white at a Thanksgiving. What was he thanking God for? What does he know that we don't know? Alexander Afenyo Markins, minority leader. Into no, and as I read, or didn't say we are better just say, and so yiri afa krofo ama sebe ye twa dwadwo ye japade ne ye neme nyina sese ya mampani akoye Thanksgiving sa de ne wo ho wo se mampani ebe ka kire now before ebe kwakotie ma Afenyo Markins ne nsem no ma me nko menu abema Chris what is Afenyo Markins actually accusing the president of?
Yes, one say na wotwe twam ne dwoada ne nso to ekese e wo Ghana asema amanfo dodo na omo ho ekokire omo because nso afa wo fie bi mu fie a omasi anwe atwa afamu abi mu niema people died. But then within that day, I think said the next day, and Thanksgiving service and as a prayer, National Day for Prayer, and so na koso. And it was something that was coincidental. Or much sad to hold that unfortunately, ne joada de be chamo my program na nso no etoye. And no and a man for do na hu ne say anka nema esi ese nka the next day no should only focus on flood and amount for who came money at the but then because some of my program maybe so ekokoye program you realize say after say omuye program we and a lot of people were actually bashing the president and then na pam for say we na see na chi muko so a mukoye prayers any Thanksgiving and we have question now Afenyo Markins ebisa and also what are you thanking God for? And you see some of the Christian community also are also on the neck of Afenyo Markins. You know, some of these things are kind of spiritual. It is all the back on many now besides some of these questions are. You get people from the Christian community to bash you, but then you still get people from the opposition to bash the actions of the president and then a powerful.
Okay. Yentie the Honorable Minister, MP, Womrashibejefia, warrior allegation, de etia mampeni by Betwansem.
Mr. Speaker, they don't stand for anything. People have died. And the next day, I'm not against declaring a Thanksgiving Day. But how can people be mourning? And then the next day you are in white, with white handkerchief. What do you know that we don't know? What do you know that we don't know? People die, they are suffering, they've lost their properties. The next day you are wearing white, with white handkerchief. Okay, Thanksgiving. What are you thanking God for? We don't know what you know. Tell us.
Sahene Afenyo Markins and I will say a dear important and mampeni danyame answer for. Now, this is coming at a crucial point in time because in recent times, there have been a lot of allegations on the internet against the president. Ebi echema ifibra mampeni eba bemuno. The atrocities, the casualties are assisting endorso. A free helicopter crash, equa jashe, a big great jema, a jashe, a saying from 2025 till 2026, a jashe dorso. Second, within this few months, and cry, and predator saying a Sakawa. And all of a sudden, so a better mountain, so say, was off will be the above betuja. Say or sacrifice 32 cows the Emma the NDC and the Namso Emma Mampeni Eba Bemu. And so looking at it in a beach, let's say as indirectly, no, Afenyo Markins is trying to come out with an assertion say ebi a Mampeni danya miase because onu nim de wakwakoye wo kukuamu a sebe no was so danya miase because looking at it no enka omanfo ho akire wo mo enchire ete say ya sebe ebi no mu kra no they've still not recovered from the damage flood we are caused to their houses and properties into the next day no and then they see the kwan say obetimi ayede a postpone the event. And this picture happens to be one picture be a man for Kamwasempa looking at the fact say Mampenia Shishin white any idea na ukrafo ebi kra chema wasenyan who twa selfie e de aka ho at this point where people were going through a lot and still trying to recover from the trauma any idea. So it wasn't the best time for the president to jubilate and all. But I tell you, democracy Canada. Some Christians almost who say, "Nyame say adi nyina mu ni emphasize that man." And even all things are emphasize that man. For everybody that knows the president, will know say President John Dramani Mahama Yubia, he's very spiritual, very spiritual. And then nyame sum di omfen nyagro. And so oh man peni bi to say what are you expecting of him? But this is coming from the NDC, the general public. What are they saying?
Well, you know, just as we said earlier, the general public, most of them are Omuacha. They are within the Omuo MPP Muno. They were not actually happy with what happened the very day after flood in AC. But then you know, say flood in the ACC. You know, some of the information is as at that time, no. Now the president was not privy to some of this information because I think it was the third day. And sana O2 helicopter, they are for Kruma here, the air ankasa. What really happened because it looks as if it's a flood way and so you know, people are talking about it a lot. And tonight is at the chin and also share na O2 animal. And you see, just as we're saying, a man for the name Nache. It's me, I say, you Ghana for much a best and
okay.
Or more NDC, you know, definitely you're more supportive president. Talking about the fact that we Bibia President John Dramani Mahama or Yana Fibia or Tesson there's going to be a day that they are going to pray and then also thank God just at the in the middle of the year. In the NDC side, they don't see anything wrong with what happened. Unfortunately, something happened the day before. They expected the president to cancel the Thanksgiving and prayers. And the Christendom community would also have come for the president. Say, what is the program to say, yes, you have to go ahead, use the opportunity to thank God for whatever that happened because it could have been worse. Do you understand? It could have been worse. Like June 3rd, 2015, the AACA, or the total a feed the one. I had the amount for but then you realize that the death toll from 115 plus to Nipa Bears at 13. No, one life, no, you can't quantify it in any way. But then only difference now is kind of huge. Into the Christian community would have definitely come for the president and say, programs here, I also say, yeah, what you are saying, you should have, I was saying, you even get some prophets on the Bible catcher or say, why you saying, Fufo the anymore eba na see a prophet Roger the other to just say I feel kind of kesi eba beba. Imagine saying kawanya what would the Christian community also say? And then on the MPP side, definitely just as minority leader Eken sana enyina Eka ni padodo na na oko TikToker. I think we even did an update on it when people on TikTok, most of them were on live bashing the president, saying all sort of things about the president. They be most who they said bibi chire as a bibi share chire baby that the president is not telling us because enka wosen ka some human atinkebi anke beti yama na suspend the program no na what tackle a flood nearby but then nipa miensa and groups of people are more Ghana how muacha obia won your opinion na omo e ka dia fa asem ho.
Okay, but from the presidency, has there been any communication to counter whatever is going on, the rumors being spread, any other day?
Well, as it stands now, some of these communication, the president himself is a communicator. And you realize, say, you understand? Former president, Adolfo Akufo-Addo, Ono no sometimes o gina ho a odi ne nkomo otimi ka say wate say we mu sisi I maybe o ka say ebi mu ani afra they don't see what is going on here. So ono dey use some way somehow you find a way to respond. But then with this President John Dramani Mahama, he's a communicator. You see, our people are peeved. Ebi mu ebuafu nipa dodo na eno mubuafu e wo Ghana ha say use have a can for to justify whatever you've done. I mean, you still get people bashing you. So akwanya also mudi go akwanya to make sure so basis anema yi anokwan no. Eno na they are communicating to the good people of Ghana. Some of these anti-flood task force or mati any measures or mudi egu akwan mu, some of the MCs municipal assemblies ni ade o must start say take gatamu ebi mu so demolish structures ICC in so akwan no. That is the communication that they are bringing out now. Most of them being channeled through NADMO, any task force, some communicators. And they are not in command, a binary the OD, but then, Omuhuni said the amount for Kayano. I mean, you still get people to talk about any step or action that you take.
Okay, so not just say the area bear Makresa, and that is what is happening at the moment. Mampeni or Mabonte Embe. For this allegations if we the minority however it be when say it is just a mere propaganda said they will try so be pushing near their idea just to put some ideas into some sections of Ghanaians and others are of the notion say whatever the NPP led by the minority leader Kanu eto asumu because enka mampeni dwene man for ho akobetumi etu eye dwumedie no asheda but if you say enye hwe sebe maybe just maybe this Thanksgiving ne cry yes the dey animu no e bia na a wiping off am I because as you see July mu cry so bia nsheda ento yesa nka July so nso tobre in all no it could be propaganda or you can decide to side with the NPP on this particular issue but as it stands now the presidency communication enyamba bonten emeka bibia emfa sa assembly ehu now yemfree ensem so na yenkopie mu wo damfa ene important mu me no ka say as part of the post flood measures and directives yes said the beya yebetimi aso ohawa ede ensuo meme ye fa nkrofo agapade afa nkrofo nkwafra mu nsem no ebaaye no ebi ene se amanfo bi esisi adan esi nsukwan mu ni adade bi mu ato asase wo ba bi enwo so omukoto ensuo mu wato asase etimi anya ho ato neti afelia basura sidan ene otim ena affect ni nua bi wo ba bi enti ba pani asasrafo so mu ntinsim monten so nende ye bana ofie esi nsukwan mu a ye dwire egu ane se ye dwire gu eno nchichiri mu bia na asrafo no so ate esi monten so amene o ka say de wo mu ye adwuma papa wo makopie bronu bi so te se damfa tashi ni ade a wo mu ade atodwa se ye beto nko ade a ye ntie nchichiri mu edan no ye dwiri egu ye nsaka videos ne ebi ye kohwe we mra na ye ndi enkomo emfa ensem no ehu.
After the downpour and after the conduct of the reconnaissance by His Excellency the President, we also conducted some recce to look at areas where we think we can conduct some operations to mitigate the impacts of the rain. We can't stop the rains. So based on that, we conducted some recce to places like Dampa or Yarifa, places like Yarifa, New York Junction, the Kweshi area and the Boundary Road area. And then after that, we decided that we're going to conduct operation such that we'll tackle the discharge, the source, before we come to the cause of water bodies. So as we speak, we've started some work on the patient dredging and the desilting is ongoing. Yesterday, we did some work in Okaiko North just to desilt some culverts. So going forward, we'll tackle the discharge area, which is the case, we'll dredge those areas. They will come upstream beneath the foothills of the mountains, tackle some water retention areas that people have built on, and then we'll tackle the cause of water bodies.
As we heard our general speaking, that of engineering part, government is ensuring that we do it. What we are going to also tackle is the behavioral part. And we plead with Ghanaians that when we get there, we need their full support. What I mean with the behavioral part is where people have built in waterways. The last time during the press conference, General mentioned that in places that we need to demolish, we have to. We all know what we witnessed some few weeks ago. We don't want it to happen again. So when we get there, we need the full support of Ghanaians.
Abusi asrafo sebe yede adwuma hye wo monsa from the president himself no ene ehu se wo mo hye wo mo adwuma ase. Now menko Chris Chris, my more insight on this operation. How is it going to be inipa yekobubu wo mo dan no compensation bi wo ho dey partner for this particular operation.
Yes, so flood mitigation mechanism team President John Dramani T, omo adwuma na no omo ahyase no na the coordinator Brigadier General Foster Okanyeboa na oni ni team any abamu mpanimfo ni bi ATC mo bi te say deputy chief of staff ko bi minister for water resources ko bi works and housing ono Kenneth J, as well as the 15 engineering regiment omo call Jamaica encheye no omo na omo nyina akabo ma omo call some of the places are first of all, no unse ensuo na tone se ebasa your retention ponds.
Okay.
You can't retention ponds na dodo na ewo Ghana ha sei ewo mia bebre a ho na ensuo nyina efa ebegum. Na unse rainwater, the ones that are going directly into the pond, any the tene ebegu pond ni mu nyina no, it can cause flood.
Okay.
But sisi the tene directly di begum no, and no na most of the people no omo sisi adan e dey block. I mean so many different structures. Omode ablock sa kwan no and so the betimi afa ababegu sa retention points no enti sa retention points no bi ti say ye obi ebi wo East Legon on friend Tessa Dam omo ekoho na ba kon so ewo around Damfa any amahia side hon so omo koho na okọ East Legon so there's another one there ni nyina omo ko visit ye na the Kweshi Lagoon as well and so say am no ka say they are dredging it omo make sure so bebiem so it can contain ensuo do na eto no enti onwadwuma na no ma chance and then the last time the updates by say papa na kasa odi tu dwa ne chemu they will leave no stone unturned.
Okay.
As it stands now no omon fan komo bia metu dwa say ye be compensate ye be pay bibi kakra de ama wana say ye be pay sika bi e de ahye wana mu ana bibi asa enya ma maybe later on no omo sisi omo dan sisi kwan mu a ye ba be demolition they can probably form an association and call on the president say be obetimi abo mo na omo aso masine kakra because who see that easy now all of a sudden ye ba be bubu agu na who say it is very sad because all these things were supposed to be done before the buildings were erected, and I said the buildings were put up, but then later no ebeko beba na afedie amanfo hu abakoka. But then sa task force your we are hoping say within a year because dredging no and say it's not just one day we are going to it should be a ritual. Afibia also we because afibia so beto the fact that what team doesn't mean say so no next year no because in so no FM no na keniema na esansu si you see enti starting saying that we are hoping say me who say municipal assemblies do no ma start e bi mo start bubu dan ni bigu some of them to the structures or starting on the stop work abon or demarcating for demolition enti ehwe say omo be ye no ma ye no ne kwan so. There were times that people were asking them to look for the topology like Assassin Ankasano saying that it was designed because so sites now who say obi efie inso abeta ho tie mu ntumu a ebi a obi dan bi a wakosi wo kwan bi so baabi ena ama ho nso na betai ho enti so obubu dan we etugu na wan kohwe nso ne kwan mu ye emubu e no na bebubu obi dan a ebi esi ano ho baabi na yese why mistake definitely nso ne to still the water ways will be blocked enti omadwuma na no ma sha ase no but then as it stands now compensation there yenya nte ho asem mo bia.
Okay. Now yenko damfa na yenko share asrafo yi ne mpanimfo a ekobo aproko ye inspection no said the sifa ekoye ewo honom na yentu ansem no so.
This place is Damfa Oyarifa, just beneath the foothills of the Ebri. So a portion falls in Damfa, a portion is in Oyarifa. This is one of the natural holding sites. Now Oyarifa in the past, because it's just located right under the foothills of Ebri, it's supposed to have a holding capacity. So in the past, this place was mainly for agricultural purposes because of such natural holding points. But as we speak, this point has the capacity to hold, but the water is not having direct access to the pond. People have blocked the waterways. So the water has to find a course before getting to this point. If we're able to clear the waterway and increase its capacity, it can hold some water for some time, then release gradually. So we prevent flooding downstream. And the gradient would allow us to hold it and then release it. But if we allow it to go as it is now, the speed with which it will go, the lag time of getting to Accra will be very short and will cause more havoc.
It seems there are a number of buildings blocking the waterway, so the direct access into the pond has been blocked. And we have to clear some of the structures so that the rivers or streams have direct access into the pond. Once it gets into the pond, its outlet will be controlled.
Enti operation na wo mukoye wo damfa no na kire se ebinum akosisi dan wo kwan a nsuo betimi afa so ebenya baabi akogu na afi no sebe nsuo no enko tatankrofo fie nkogu nkrofo fie enko flateni ade and for all you know no na kire se these are some of the technical works yi efin a sebe ye ka se ye the cause of some of the flooding wo nkran hanum say ya technically no eniema bi nso say no. And so echo say havoc. And in Oyarifa, just like Damfani Oyarifa no kwan kakra bi na dem no. There is a retention wall say be wo makwa mo say sa wall no ayo see a kwan papa say be distracted the flow of nsuo a was senke be sen ekọ nyina no ma nsuo ni nya kwan enti we de na say wo mo ho ni nyina no buti ekeka onipa okosi wo no say etwa obi fie hu se de no ye bedwire egu anesa which is very sad say ubesi dan now this war na fe all of a sudden out of the blues e wa bedwire egu abrabo no o sha ase foforo ana say wo ye ne den yen hwe video we mra na yen to aso
inso na nkasa na ne erosion efa ni ewiri bia na efa enti ye wa na mai bi ba say amato ase ama no timene nya problem kra wa na ade still na okofa sikebita ebedua tim ko boy me fo amane e ba ye menim pe bi kakra mo I don't know that one there ana omo yi omani nti panyimfo nyina ba say omo ntia ase ba nso ne de because so ni yira ade obi afie ko ha te ne nya kasa sa oba bi no ma chofa ba begu ase langard fo sa no aba be do so ye na wasa akọ ti ade nyina ne dia o wasa nyina aton nyina am de ama no nsuo ni mu ye ne nsuo ni nyina ne dia ase aton ama no ase aton ama no
See, I know ye reinforcement wa ha.
Afa patron esida won na ye we no nti we no ko so obama na abaso obama na pillar na nso na tima fa da na ase patron ati ase obesiesi so ana nso so se nso se ma nso bribe untimi bribe nso se chinchina ofe foforo ko ne kwan na wa na obefa
we e course se ya no
e konkofo fie maame bi wo abu wo no kura nte woni nso ni iri a wo nyina no eni fia nyina nso no de eyiri para no de wa ha wo ya wan ko ba be twon kura akọ iri boss ro ko nso ni firi no wa na eba firi se ti no no de oso bi na to ase ama no to no papers
Abusia amane boni bi a free damfa eba no na yatete emu ensem no ebie na kyese ebinom de ye kakra na Chris wo ma madwen se wo mo nte kyese yetimi aton asase aton ni nsuo na eda ho ni nyina mo bi.
It's been happening, you know, as a yeah can say, I'm sure Ashefo probably they are shocked because ya ton asase aton nsuo na ka ho de ama wo dwene ho kwan a wo befa so a wo be manage nsuo no nsuo nso de ye nyine nim say ye manage no mani nye. How will you, because a lot of people are trying to divert waterways even ko galam say site omo divert nsuo kwan no say de be ye ombenya baabi aye omo adwuma nti so omo hia nsuo na no mabie kwan ne kakra na nsuo na befam na omo asa ko close no enti wodwene ho a wonte ase say wetimi ato asase ato nsuo adi start esi wall a block nsuo no ama wa divert no in the first place afi de wo so be si dynasty so na nsuo na fa wo dynasty because wo be pejam and say maybe sometimes over person ye wo ho wodwene ho a wonte ase. You see, it is very, very sad, but then it is good, sir. Some of these things amount for air because what you say sometimes yeah, the best engineers or more MC municipal assemblies near the best show almost but then you pronounce him said the oil or because why.
So which people are selling the lands? That's the question.
I don't know, make us say nipa ni sika ye different no. Imagine roads minister say well site na niema air cost no odwon ho a wonte ase. Meanwhile, supervisors are there. And I'm unfortunate, no supervisor no back site. No, he has a link between the contractor and then the roads minister. And he agrees in some kakrebia. Information also the man reports on farmer. Do you understand? And the same thing in AC in so kwan mu. Nipa na ono ye adwuma no, obesi ni dan no nim se ho ye nsuo. But person still no cost no ye na adwuma no. And they will find ways to grease the palms of some of these engineers. Whether it is true or musika bi ana because ojo wa won tia say and sometimes you can't even blame the engineers bebre because ni pano here papa die ono ga say ni tua say nsuo na da ho we nye say bia flood na betimi atwa afa ho nsuo na nkasa na da ho a nsuo no betimi ayiri so ojo ho a sometimes won tia say all these engineers na bebre a na enye.
It's quite unfortunate, but President John Dramani Mahama waya de say wetimi ate sa team we are hoping to wombe ye adwuma no as expected of them. Yembonra and some fufumu we've seen the back and forth ene basabasa ya ababeto mountain so akwa say Ghana ha ye terrain nipa kese bi ewu a ene nsemo a ye beti wo kurom hanum say ansa na adwobre obeba no enye asem ketwa just recently any who say enuanum ntokwa akoso between Sarah Adwasafo ene ne nuabema eye akomfna na ntokwa ni nyina ko wiewie ejapade ne we wonsensem ni atade ehu new discovery ababeto apono so chirimu se ye papa Kodwosafo ne we no yakokan wo court ne yakokan ye no emse ne niema ni bi akwakodi eye ne mate ene edwumayfo mu ewo ne nchen no eho na ashoke amanfo bebre because omu ne say sese like yenti ase ejapade no ni nyina no mo de ama no ana say ede na ekoso yemfa we into screens no so emfa ma it's very surprising say ye chiremu a certain percentage into or say the late apostle Dr. Kodwosafo Kantanka in his will said 50% of his bank savings and again 50% out of his 60% shares owned in his companies should be given to his house helps and mates. And Chris, omuchiremu na chese omba chese
say unse obia unyinia na wo start wo tiase na oyare da homu na ohun say sometimes family will even neglect you.
Okay.
You know, because if you say they are paying someone to do the job for them, and omo enshede time and mouse because they paid someone to take care of you. And we had the extreme that some of these maids, some of these caretakers, omo called just to take care of some of these people now who say like omayi duma. And eba sa amanfo shocked. I know people are not shocked, but then they all share the magnitude of a Japadi or the job, and then the amount for a shocked.
Okay.
Because 50% of your entire savings at is it CBG or one of the banks? 50% of your entire savings. Papa is always about Bobra. So
we should create bank account back.
Enkoya account back, you know, be account be your account ni scale them nyina abom 50% enko made no ho. And the companies 60% shares a woman no. 60% shares e your no angasa ne de say ono angasa ne shares. Emu 60% yen fa mu 50% esa money made. You ask yourself, say tokwa omam nyina. I mean, to what end? Because Oshemwa, make us say a chunk of it no their money made, no, but then Osha, Dudwana so ever cop made no amana. Intiama for Dudwana, they are shocked at the magnitude of a Japadi idea jam made, no, but then people are not surprised because some of these maids they go to the extent of doing certain things that your family members will not even do for you. That is what is happening currently. What kind of role no? That is the new revelation at IPM Abba.
Okay, now ye papa Safo Kantanka no well no emu ensem emra na yendi enkomo entoaso.
Enkomo obi nkokase atesem na metese yesi we mfa ye me pa acho we no ye rudi. Eni e o mu ansa be kan wodofo. Yo. I hereby revoke all wills, codicils, or any other testamentary documents previously made by me before this day, and especially my will dated 26th day of August 2020. Now, I can say codicils, codicils, a legal document that acts as a supplement to an existing will. Yeah, existing will. There's a thing in our trip. Yeah. I appoint Mr. Woduro Steven of Accra Newtown, who is a General Secretary of the Christians Affirmation of Ghana, and a lawyer, Kofi Safo Kantanka of P.O. Box 8901, Accra North, my friends, to be executors and trustees of this will. 3. I direct my executors and trustees to pay my just debt, funeral, and testamentary expenses. Not to pay my just debt, funeral, and testamentary expenses. And then you know wamuna willi ya tray. Media once again, once the ama woman say, Wamun share Emily Mram say, May I want to Tiani music as some no. Nana, Wamure, na Yuntia, and Andiza, and a Tiana. You. Bebato point 4. I direct my son, Kwajosafo Akofuna, Nana Kwajosafo Akofuna, or is Kwajosafo, shall upon my death ensure custody and control of my body, and also take control of my burial, and burial in accordance with my wishes, as I've stated and directed in this my will. Point 5. It is my wish, and I also direct that my body shall be interred or buried at my royal mausoleum, beautifully crafted and designed at my land at Gomwa Mpota in the central region of the Republic of Ghana, and my royal mausoleum, where I shall be interred and buried, and shall be part of my special center known as Apostle Kojo Safo Center. Okay, point 7. I direct that the special center built in my honor, known as Apostle Kojo Safo Center, shall be a place for local and international tourism, and shall also contain 12 large rooms or halls earmarked for the following: a library, a cinema, a Pan-African conference and study hall, photo gallery room, inventions and technological imagination room, charity records room, where people donate to mankind to alleviate suffering, shall have their photographs kept and names and donations recorded as a sign of sustaining my charity mission. National Cathedral. Now, how you go to Amana outside the court? Say this camera will be say, you 2 years or the Ebeco Jew for agwa fa
di wo ba koi hey ni be be di boni pen yo no ma kwetna ba sidin no
na de be ko juda musuku
na ye to hustle
na lidie
restaurants kinship and chieftaincy artifacts and Adriana symbols room. Yeni aye papa Apostle Dr. Kodjo Safo ne we no.
Na mun sam na ye kenken, we no ne ye kenken.
Ya fe na wabeto so a. We no mun sam ne ye kenken. Tie ba bia atisem bia no na ni hancho wo boa. Ba cho ye ntie.
Ntie.
Woodcraft of invented products room. Where woodcraft of my invented products shall be displayed for people to view and cultivate can-do spirit in technology. Empty room, rainbow hall and theater, music and dance hall, where both African and contemporary theater, music, dance shall be performed. Papa dear no kon one more baby theater no. And then is in what you know more elaborate than this.
Na detail the power.
Nana yes to us way. The center shall have well kept green grass and trees and flowery surroundings to signify my attitude towards the environment, and 12 of my flags hoisted around it. And the center shall also serve as my museum and memorial center. I further direct that the Apostle Kodjo Safo Center shall be managed by 3 trustees, not less than 30 staff. I direct that the trustees of the center shall be appointed by my sons, Nana Kodjo Safo Akofuna, aka Israel Kodjo Safo, Abraham Yasafo, and Obed Kodjo Safo, and the trustees shall also comply with the staff of the center. And when Kodjo Safo Akofuna, aka Israel Kodjo Safo, Abraham Safo, and Obed Safo shall not be alive, I appoint any future leader of the Christians of mission.
I was na the breakdown of Yankasa Yadi na mechre Safo Kantanka ne well no na yekoko share na per indications no said the yakane dada no ne japade no mu kakra akwakodi made for no echo na said na yenua be Chris no raise a lot of eyebrows and conversations e bi bisa say na sebe eba ne sen na papa etimi eja japade ente se de ema ne mates any ade utie ye ncheche mu ana free Chris ho eba na chese sometimes when people serve you to that extent and that level na unso uchire wo appreciation, and that's what Papa Kodjo Safo Kantanka aye enti ne mano entokwa ne ade nyina no ekopusi say. But people are asking about rumors about akonfina ne adwa Safo mu ne omontokwa ne ade ne no so akosi say.
Well, ebeto dwa say I say omo the section of me gonna say will no mu no omo de beto dwa say papa na yi yo ne hu ne nyina omo de ahye akofinansa.
Okay.
And sorry no so ono and the supreme leader of the church any ade Emma honorable and so edit to dwa say ono de ne papa no yare da homu ne nsem o de to dwa ono hu ni say eno and also di so no de say the papa nyam no eno behwe so a obedi so jodi betu dwa say estate ne ho ne manema no ombe make sure say how our will no ebesi akono no and obedi so. But then there has been some rumors too that they are not really happy with the fact that they are sorry no Israel and some of them, I mean some rumors that came in said they are not really happy with what happened that a drew maybe more simple the Zaraman crying some okay can you know the fans some you know or I felt like, oh, at this point, I think they are rallying behind Israel. But then still, now, as you shall say, I said, they are not really happy with the fact that they don't see, sorry, no, I know any idea. I mean, will there, will. Courts, a best say, will no, any argument. And he said, oh, your lawyer, won't you call file appeal be and found, will there, will. And no, and I must say, I'm saying, I do broke a cry, but. akofuna de a yɛde na si asɔre na no de I'm hearing say some people are not really happy with it.
Okay, now you free same way so your consent for so ye piemu ewo angel na eho na aba beto dwa se Kojo Dixon our yen century our ye juma ewo Angel FM for some time now no nya obon humode pai ba na kase bo news na Kojo Dixon edi emu akotene just like yenua bema Kofi Adoma na nsinye hu ne biem no Kojo Dixon nso de abetudwa say officially wa resign the free angel de na si ye de ne ba ye de ono a ene betimi atwe yinkoji ntrimu a efi ne ho ebae
ebese bosume baako ene de chikakra ni masom ebu me ba social media so pe hwa first question me ta hunu ye bebre eye of ade ne ento nka ewo NGTV so ne ento nka no Angel FM so ena da be na be ba ne enti news no bio na be ka news no maye enye se bia makwa silence just to disrespect you know na amanbons ye ba mane at the right time na me twen want to tell you na mjiri se bre no eye ne say officially me ka kire mo say my resign every Angel Broadcast Network ABN inti menya dwuma ewo hobio inti se mu hu me wo NGTV so ana Angel FM se me kan news wa na ase ane se ma resign for ho me no mo enya dwuma bio inti medamase pa de mitimi koye hobia ye moa aha moa mu no ho man komentran kwa ehwe inti medamase tituru pa ene advertisers nso a mo beboa ye mo de mo advert eba ho ebebo abeso bibia na meyemu medemase papa na frano ba na eba se mo pase mo san ehumi wo TV subio na mebeka news no mate de besibia besa bebo mamane wa heya de bedi akire bia mesa ba heya abebo mo amane nti nakopon hiramu nyina makoma thank you so very much.
Obuzia Kojo Dixon osi nyankopon hiramu nyina baako se mwadwen ne ho ani ade sese de wankire pefe de ti a wa resign edi efi Angel but ebi che sese come say Angel group of company gu because the top people are omo ho ni nyina as we move free ho 1111 what is happening?
Well, yeah, part of the quote, maybe or the betu just say, one hand some children and as a media, a human one who be free.
Okay.
And since it's here, backcrack you more, Kumasi appear FM say, new management and a better take place, or move as Sunday no crowd, of course, a Koba FM or something.
Okay.
And which was and some of the two jam maybe say media, human maybe or the better hawk cra na wash and yama because. Time I know here media no em say what the aye de obeye nyina vie what I say the obese what the media na ye nyina no the aye we because most of the time so multi media company this am person
omo de promote
omo niema omo ye no on the side what I say nti emumu anu no mahu say ho so say sika kakra wo ho na omo apija mu but say ohu say em say what the aye de obese what the bi awie nti maybe what to just say obese ojai media no free mu kakra na ohwe be before because ono adi to just say the investments no na wo Germany but I say Ghana had you who say hey Dr. Kokote why a higher than ketuom akese animu agasa wo Germany enti wo hwe efira Kojo Dixon ne dia o dia betu dwa say ono so afi ho ama for do na omo ati shock omo mu 30 angel no omo ati shock kakra but then enti tie ba say okokumase Kumasi because see Kumasi a omo ya no transfer window omo bie no transfer window and it's a media station bi ba because they say omo bie anya radio nko obie radio no obie TV online portals bia everything is working it is ana say omo ya no nti new station ya ba pe omo so obia omo nyina movie e de ko ho nti omo say we ko na we be hye ho we ko na we be hye ho saa nti eno and them say poaching no ma poach o Kumasi a bi atiasi nkran ha say a if you are Kojo Dixon so ne ho aka wan hwe a the etitene say e bi obeka kopiem e wo Kumasi.
Okay, it was quite unfortunate and I say Becca say e bia na e kwa koyeye e de ama Kojo Dixon though e bi no mo ba hye ne say enti the ye wo angel nyina se angel TV any dia ne kosi hin nyina no at the end of the day no sebe wagya angel e wo ho kukukukuku ne gidigidi ni nyina no utimu se minim se wahu a lady bi ni Kojo Dixon twene den pa e wo internet ne so o say oye adwuma wo ho no Kojo Dixon e pamo no because of a trending video bi a wo ye it se papa no kra the angel de enya de wo be free hoda nanso ene we free ho any ade so say the ehunu no say media transfer orokodo ene now meanwhile no ensem bi so aba with regards to the entertainment industry yes awofo bi no ma shase complaining about senior yetwa e wo krodwem hanum say what is going on then ekoso
yes unse na say so obekaya there's a trend don't tell you unse double is trending
okay
omo te se double mo John Little mo and company mo why you see crowd say who na who se penny but some of them no
they are still tiny
and you may think so mo cry and some of the roles are dem no Don Little na that screens you see and some parents be and they better just say some of the roles some of the diminutive actors no more yes short to say sabi o yes short to say Don Little no more role omo enum nsa smoky role because at a first glance akra bi behwe movie no obehu say ne yonko akra and enum nsen o smoky and before akra no behu say papa no papa panyini na aye too late na bi akra na copy the nipa no wo screens ne so nti omo dey aba say directors and producers no more role na some of these diminutive acts and actors no more role be depict some of these gangster lifestyle drinking smoking yes I will have an effect on the children
okay and he said the enu abema ne kana nkrani bi wo hono ma when they see people like Don Little Money company money double mo hu ne se omo ye nkra te se wo mo a they say ebia ensakura no na jota ne se akra ne hu ne se it is a normal thing to onu so betimi aye bi now if I went to screens no so or say it is my wish that movie writers and producers make a conscious effort to avoid portraying actors with dwarfism as characters who are seen smoking or drinking and tinacha so tremwa and sebe obi otise wa he Don Little your talihui na mama no ensa na ekutwa na no a we kasa kra peja na eni ni di agro I mean there have been several videos abeto ja wakopie ba bi obi hu ni say ni fellow child woni ni di agro ni ade enti e mom nsa ni jot ni ade na ha adwen o say I had to explain to my curious son that the actor is an adult but has dwarfism which affects his growth blah blah blah. Here he was saying, why is this small boy smoking, which is not good for his health? At least I was happy with the knowledge that smoking is bad. But dwarf na beer na cigarettes and so then stop rough. And the Opacha said, Nebani mu ye video bia enche be kwa kwahye no and was say so obisebusa ho nsem say na den na ambufa kakra ba ete say Don Little okransa ekura can say jot any ade ehye na say enye sakra be yesa enti wo sha children can imitate because who say be and fellow child ye bi de no so no so ye dey bi now that video in question no ye be ko na yakohye aba na eba ya to ansem no eso
Hey, my brother, your time is up.
What is that?
I said your time is up. I open the gate for you, and I know the time. This one is not your woman. When you go relax, where you massage her before you talk. This one will be wet. Hey, don't stand there and be distracting me. Come here. Here be business. Your time is up. So if you want to renew, oh boss, the girl is nice, it's sweet. So let me renew the girl. What do you want to cheat me?
But what tell me how
can I know that now you are opening? Huh? My friend, add some of the money or come out.
Okay.
So this is the video in question now. As you can see clearly, no, na Don Little ikra eye jot, ena ukra eye ninsa ewe ni glass mu, ena I'm say abufra na akobisa ne maame say di nti na abufra kakra ba te say Don Little obekwa kura nsa ne jot any ade nti movie producers, any actors enhwe no munye bibi and found. Do you think something could be done about this?
Oh, yes. I mean, something can be done about it because they just have to petition the movie film, is it five pack, the Film Association Ghana. Now, now, send the directives, and former directors, and your casting, so that some of these people know more roles be saved because it is very important. And some of us, me kai say me so no more advert. The way edi mo no TV so no. Sabi na me so me tom one person you dino. You may oh like that's somebody show manuma they don't chew no man. Do you understand? And you may think say oh enye hwe we dey enye hwe but it is true. Me I was watching adverts and I was like oh mami yebi. So you definitely get a crabby on so be sure be hu say ah me yonko akra e na ehwe we before I realize say oye papa panyin no na movie ni besi. So movie ni besi I watched and me share skits be that was Don Little Yana the kumenu ekope driving job e woni fie your car na akra no car na ono kwakoye driving wo hu no akra na hwi atena car ni ma se wo obi yi ne ma wo no se wo akra keto wo ye den wo car ni what I say e no ni si nchen e no obo no ti before I realize say onu mom kra na e fa na dwuma no na it was at the end of the skit so say imagine say nka o smoking akra na wo hwe no wenya kwan ahwe movie nansi wenya kwan ahwe skit na ma nansi a itirimu no ni nua ana ne yonko akra na on me so let me get it taste now hear how the whole thing tastes like before you realize na nkra no omo atesi dum.
Okay, now in other news no the entertainment industry no sabria meneo kase die Shatawale na beka say ni just be abura ne camp but Ghana for bebre nti ase say amidst everybody in this country some Ghanaians mama put it that way some Ghanaians nti ase say amidst everybody in this country mo anya obi a Shatawale aseme na bese mo ka kire no asem we de enti ase now ni nyina ene se Shatta no ka say September busumi no mu obekwa kopie mu e wo UPSA university practice senior studies. Now Osha screen says Shatawale to address UPSA students in September on leveraging business ideas following a request by the university's vice chancellor. Enti vice chancellor no aminu abema no tech studio ham onim ni yie pa no ono na services say no odi abeto dwa say opia Shatawale ewo UPS school ni mu ewe de enye so obebo show ananse bibi na emom ombe kira de oni adesuanfo ni medi nkomo emfa business any ade ehu but the question now is Chris why Shatawale? We have a lot of business move like top businessmen who produce Shatta there.
Yes, that is Professor Kweku Mensah-Mauto. I know he was sworn in as the UPSA Vice Chancellor 2nd January 2025, and he didn't see so. But then, Shatawale, say, people get opportunities. When you get the opportunity, how you make use of the opportunity, and people start to call on you. You understand? Some businessmen, you may not know how they ended up starting their business, but people have the view that Shatawale started all his businesses with a yenyum to a musika and they started business. We have Shatawale the businesses be a webia or shaxi and no a ride hailing up. Any name say or shaxi. Or the din kakra to so Shatawale ni taxi no cabo me and shaxi. And or so our hot wave or co-ownership with hot wave phones are
okay.
What's that phones be by a friend hot wave and also etia papa hot wave
from near
put the two so many are the experiment there is an SM series of hot wave on the buy Shatawale features home baby also a Shatawale the phone Shatawale that so flow girl crash Shatawale picture ever face. Do you understand? It's we're customizing to a year or no Shatawale so he has a co-ownership in a Hotwave, which is a global mobile phone company, and also another business. Or yeah, no, also real estate. He's also into real estate. And no, filling a few broad homes, and I say Damaka Group, and also real estate. And you know, Shatawale dia, and also Shatawale now SM movement, and I say SM music. And no, ye konya obi to say at the chef, any captain, any joint 77, the omunina came out from a SM. But see, there are still people under that label. They are trying to come up. And now, some businesses are Shatawale BA. And from the music or channel on the fans into creating some of these businesses. And I'm the VC, the Vice Chancellor for UPSC, University for Professional Studies Accra, the Vice Chancellor Aton Safreno. Say, Omrame PM na students woho oni omo emedin kita ho said before I be free school, no opportunity kakra bi abenya you make a good use of it, creating yourself a business.
Okay. So yensha in some way Ibrana the Vice Chancellor no requested for Shatawale the presence wo UPSC a Shatan so say ni team no agye atomu a hopefully no September obeko akopie mu wo UPSC school ni yensha in some way.
I know Chasdiama is very good. I want Chasdiama to come and address my students. Consider that. You know why I called. I want him. It's someone we don't listen to, and because of the things he says, people don't want to listen to the deeper reflections of the things he says. Now he said, I listened. I read it. He said, I went under hibernation and learned all the things I'm doing on my own. He said nobody taught him how to do music. He learned it on the internet. Internet is a big resource in this world. So if Shatawale learned everything that he's doing on his own, then the student of UPSA who has the entire internet, the resources at their disposal, they should do better than him.
I'm actually going to, he has a show in London on the 1st of August. We're preparing towards that. And I want to also assure you that we'll bring him in, we'll set the date, and it will be a pleasure. I know you also will love it. It will be an honor for him to address the students of UPSA, and we'll make that a possibility. So thank you very much. Thank you.
That is the explanation the Vice Chancellor, Professor Mauto, Wadiatu Monten. So, Chemudia, from how Shatta, managing the life. It me are making use of the internet at his disposal. They are building brands are connecting him. And aside the Shatawale as a musician, no, money at the end, he feels he's the best person. So when I say, oh yeah, a real businessman, will be a cry to him. He feels the person will be to me abwa and the students, Shatawale. And hopefully UPSA would be hosting Shatawale. UPSA yenye because me say ni alumni I never copy movie na yakwa kusia de fisher tawali hono boy no we start opening our businesses now in some way kwaso ni nyina no there is a trend Ghana say ubehu ane se obi awu na yakwa ye na se na kese mic ni se obi a wo sunu ye the mic ni ko wura nenu ma ni se won sungu mic ni mo so onye denyo and sometimes then you ask yourself into blogger be vlogger be de nko na wo gie fri ni pe ya se be wo sunye honom na no na influencer Gisela Amponsa the best friend of Ama Berland wo de aba to just say just say ayeye edoso dodo adan say pa de na mo je de free nkofo ho just say obi krade shewu a mo mani panampo ema bonten meka no ma jim announcement na fata de high mo say munya announcement e de na mope what are you collecting it would say Gisela she's gone all out on some of the vloggers and the bloggers Ghana Hanum say because of this pattern of breaking news before family and videoing funerals unnecessarily near their day. You go to Gisela Emra.
I came to sit in my car to record this because I feel like it needs to be said. Like, I fear we have lost the plot as human beings in general. Okay, so my thing is, how would you feel if your family member passes away, or and then you don't hear it from your family members, but you come and you see that people are making content out of the person's demise? Like, you find out about the person's death on the internet because somebody somewhere heard about it first and decided, oh, let me pick up my phone and say something about this person that I don't even know from anywhere, announce the person's death. That's one. Two, why are you at a funeral? Why are you at a funeral with your camera in people's faces recording like this? And it's in the face of either the mother, the family, or a family member of the person that died. And that's two. Three, why are you in the comment section saying some things like, may we never bury our children? What are you talking about? Like, what is wrong with people? I don't understand. Like, that is so insensitive. Like, can you not see how insensitive that is? Can you not see how insensitive it is for you to be commenting such things? Because I just saw a video of a blogger that posted the lady, may her soul rest in peace, the lady that died. The lady's mom is at her funeral, and you have a camera in the woman's face recording her since she entered the venue till she found her seat to sit down. That wasn't enough. Now people are in the comment section saying, may we not bury our children. Do you think you're special than the woman? What kind of prayer is that? Do you think God is going to listen to that prayer? Like, what is it? Also, if you have that prayer in your mind, can you not go down on your knees and pray in your bedroom? Why are you typing it in the comment section? Like, guys, why, like, where's the heartlessness coming from? Where's the insensitivity coming from? Why can't some of you just be empaths? Like, why can't you be empathetic towards someone's situation? I don't understand, and it's really driving me nuts because, like, I'm like, it can't, like, no, there is no way. First, it was people making content out of it, people using the woman's death as content, and then making, like, coming on here to announce it, even when even before, on her business page they had posted a statement. Before her business page announced that she was dead, y'all niggas were already on in the internet telling us why do you think you are the one to tell us that there are certain things you have to leave for family members? Marriage, childbirth, death, announcement of pregnancy. You don't have to be the one to tell us. We don't need that. We don't need to hear from you. It should come from the family. Like, when will you, like, guys, we've lost the plot. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm raising my voice down. I'm sorry for doing that, but like, we really lost the plot. We've lost the plot. I'm sorry.
Gisela Amponsa, which you say no, as a Ghana for ye need to maybe. Chris, how are people taking this from Gisela?
Well, you see, some of these actually was very annoying. Time I heard Daddy Lumba free mono, and you heard some of these things. Amount for some of them had to even go and rent around Daddy Lumba's residence. So they will be
You
getting,
don't mean it.
they will be getting. Yes, people were renting around Daddy Lumba, baby, or Teno. If you more aquaji apartment, a honor tea at that story said the way I know papa no si not the effort to be they are picking it up. You see, it was within that time among women said they are more and fan crime because nipa among for some of these things time will be extra said that that is where people also pull out their cameras and then they'll be recording some of these emotional moments and they would want to post it for other people to see. It got very annoying. My people started talking about it, but it was still it won't Emma the to so a buy amount for still most of them are doing some of these things. People are siding with her on the fact that and you're fine. Say me who ni pe free me trade camera so just to record me and go and post it somewhere. It's not nice because you are invading people's privacy and I mean or more their emotional moments. No, I said, some of them will watch it and make fun of it. Some will watch it and also be emotional as well as nipa every mono. And all in all, we all know that some of these things are not the best. And yes, analyst or Monte Sokakra.
Okay, Ebusian, so that is all about it. Well, it be just regulations should be set for these vloggers to know their standard and all that. But ningina ewo eye empening for ensem. Now, lastly, before I sorry ensem no esono, ebe can say there is a wonder see in this season. Intensi cry. It doesn't really happen. It be great now to say we are witnessing the immediate sister of Sarah in the Bible. It's as obi pimu Ghana ha say ya awasemu a esie ama nipa bebreni agye no the birth of a 61-year-old woman and Nancy Akra wedding birthday. It is 62 years. Chris, fill us in. DNC year ban saying what is happening and what is making this a news in the first place.
Yeah, so 61-year-old woman and as she ameno kasai wetini afa yefunu awo through a stem cell enhanced IVF. After 22 years, I'm ameno waya senko pebanti. We are 22 years now. Like I say, half of the year one no uti free one. There's about 40 years time because within 30, everybody now about 25 now time I will deliver so from 40 years na onyabi enti 61 years I will 62 and as see wetimi awo afa ne ho afa ne ba akwakoye ensem bebre akoye news a amanfo do da na omo ani age ede ama maame na see wawo afa ne ho afa ne ba very strong baby so na owo no.
Okay, okay. Now, I'm sure a lot of people will be wondering what the stem cell IVF is all about. You bet church but then yem combra now yem bet church and stem nimu ema in video remember.
Doris, at 61, approaching 62. Wow.
You know what? You made me see. Hey, there was a time Dr. Davis described I said, I was on near me. And I'm in relationship because I made it see. You made me see. Even in my area where I live, they see me because for 9 months I'm not driven. Yes. And I mean, Obian
for another time.
Yes. But I mean, I don't even think my siblings knew sending him. Means me who I'm no man a cover.
Oh yes, I'm son of the best friend.
And I all said, Nyamima Panchra. So would you did the quadia as a so disso? Because
That is a year Mame Doris Dohosu no any other 61-year-old woman after a stem cell enhanced IVF no with me awa fan ba wo church and say when I say it wasn't an easy journey say obefemu now Mame ko me Chris for a lay person I wouldn't I'm sure most people will know what the IVF procedure is like. See, I common Ghana ha IVF movies mu crying. But then what is unique about this stem cell enhanced IVF?
Well, say you can't stem cell now, you know. Obi already 61 the ideally when you
okay
the cells and in the system body no and ka enyini and sa ka we call menopause using menopausal stage.
Okay.
And ka award ka I mean and some fata so
some fata say
ebi our power yes.
But
then the you know the normal IVF that they do, they even do it for younger people.
Okay.
And no, at that point, you know, there's no way so make me have two.
Okay.
But then they find a way to get you some cells be in your body, into your body.
Okay.
Enti baby ombekwa akotwe free no, they find a way to manipulate it in such a way say betimi aye adwuma te se de ebi obi a wadi mfie be 15, 18. What I say, it is our stem cells no, when they introduce it into your system, into your reproductive system, it will help you to be able to bring out the eggs.
Okay.
What I say, it will help you to be able to bring out the eggs. So if the eggs are out, it means able to be producing eggs now, then they can take it out and then do the IVF process and then put it back. Once the embryo is formed, then they will put it back into your womb and monitor it till the baby to me. Na ababeye akra. Enhanced stem cell no, like I say, omayi ebia ne honam akwa babies. Most of the time they go into your, sometimes even your bone marrow to get the cells. Sometimes they use your blood, sometimes some parts of your body. Na oma manipulate to look like someone who is younger. So your system will system, let's say when you're 61, you are like 20, 25 years old. You can still produce ovaries, you can still produce eggs. They will take the eggs, do the IVF process, and then put the embryo back into your system. So the enhanced part, not just say, because 61 years there, it has to be that enhanced before.
So that means that there is a normal stem cell IVF.
Yes.
And as I say, they had to enhance it because she's old.
Because she's old.
But then, what on a normal basis, what is the probability say enka a bit me a farmer now?
Oh, it does happen. It does happen, but then also on the age, any acquire mutimi efa suma still na otimi produce ovaries. Emma mutimi ekoye IVF no ma etimi yini because normally in the class utimi to cause that age, ebiana ne ho sheda is not that strong, it's not that fertile enough to get you a baby. You see, so mutimi ye sa enhanced one now. The probability is always me out to kosha very fertile enough. Creating an embryo when a sperm is introduced that very high. They had to enhance it so that it will match up with her age. What I say, me say it has been happening there, but with this one, with the age, and amana yewa some older men be 50, 55, 49 going, ebimu etimi ewu. But then 60 kodi na otimu zenka wo ye ka wo twa awo anesa. Nti no the age na amano aye wanwa kakra.
But was this done in Ghana?
Yes, it was done in Ghana here. It's Ghana Handsome Ridge. Is it Ridge Hospital? Greater Accra Regional Hospital.
Okay.
Yes, and is here 61 years. Doris. Nigeria Doris Anu Dohosu. Otimi ewo ya wa fa ne ho afa ne ba. Ono ena on your screen so uhuno ewo ho.
Okay, but then ensem ne beto dwanom yenim se Ghana de eben wan wakakra, but we've had people a omanyini edru say they are still having hope say they are obetimi akwakowo amana ayeye. The news of this woman no, how said the Ghana for no, how is the reaction on the internet and everything?
Most Ghanaians, most of them are privy to IVF. They know they can find ways and maybe you be in the egg because naturally when the sperm is introduced, it means swimming into where the ovaries are located. So the baby will be to me afraid through. And she said, and no need to me then let's get the eggs out, infuse it or introduce the sperms artificially. When the embryo is formed, then we'll put it back into her womb. But no, it happens. People do it. And a bar said, you go to the next level, no. And no, and I'm who said, I'm for the donor. I'm said, a bit surprised because probably they didn't know. Said, my many there are ways because first of all, natural one said, sperms intimate drew eggs, no, another cause of sending or be intimate. And then the fact say my meaning intimate to at that time also another thing. Until you openly say, oh, my 61, 62 years, what you'll be very, very shocked. But then when you get to know the details and the circumstances, no, yeah, ebia, obey say, oh, then ebia, a normal say is here. But then with her age in general, na no IVF, enhanced stem IVF, na say, I mean, the age, amount for, I mean, they are very happy with mama no, now we're waiting at this particular age.
Okay, so that is it for a year, Madam Doris, a year dohosu. Say Sabrina at age 61, no, with me are going through the stem cell enhanced IVF, what afani, but I mean, it's serving as an encouragement to some women. Say we are almost so try bia, bit me a ye, de ama womo. Yafa munsi ha, na, I wish I end up was say, nya bread ha, Pinax.